Yeah. Let's see. There we go. Gonna set them up here. There we go. Excellent. There we go. All right. Can we hear me? Can we see me? Am I good? A little bit delay, I think, but other than that, should be good. There we go. How we doing today, guys? How are we? How we doing? How we feeling? What are we up to today? You guys already know what I'm here for. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Jace. If you have any questions about dating, relationships, all that good stuff, I'm here to help. So let's get on with this. I can only be here for about 30 minutes. Let's push it to 40. We'll push it to 40. Have a good day. What's going on, Profilo? How we doing? How we doing? Oh, you guys like the live while you're at it. Just do this on the screen real quick. Just tap it. Tap it real quick. Yeah, it's been a while, you know. Randomly search your profile and we're live. Ain't it amazing how God works, right? Divine timing. It's a real thing. Divine timing, divine positioning. It's very real. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Missed you, bad man. You're not posting a lot or doing lives. Posting once a day, focusing on quality instead of quantity. That's what's, on my thing right now. Plus, I'm trying to balance this and the other launch I got coming up. So, just making sure things are running smoothly and I can correctly conserve energy as I go. It's not good to anybody, myself or you guys, if I burn out, right? So it's important to gauge that correctly. Just don't know if you remember the girl at work. No, you might have to refresh my memory. It's been a while. Let's see. You heard about Keith Lee and his wife relationship when they were younger? Yes, I saw a few clips about it. That was funny. It's it's one of those videos that, I've been doing TikTok long enough to know now what kind of video will be a waste of my time or what kind of video wouldn't. If I were to talk about Keith Lee and his wife and how, according to him, they were cheating on each other up and down when they were younger, that's just one of those videos where I'm inevitably going to get misunderstood. So I'm not going to even bother making that video. But if I had to make the video, right, for those of you watching right now, this is what I would say. I would say that makes perfect sense to me, right? That it makes sense. You got a couple that's been with each other for a long period of time. They were super young when they first met each other. And if I'm not mistaken, when he met her, she was with someone else. So he was essentially the side dude when they met. They were working with each other like he was the work husband, side dude. You know how that works. And they had a few things go wrong. They were both very emotionally immature. They were cheating on each other to get back at each other, which most people would never understand, but that's part of why they're so strong today. And yes, I know that is, you see the way you feel right now, like what? That's exactly why I didn't make the video. That's why I didn't bother. People don't understand what cheating is and what its function is and where it comes from, how it works, why it happens. And that's why people have massive misconceptions around cheating, and they make it a lot more taboo than it really should be. I'm not saying it's a good thing or all the way a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing either. I'm just saying it's a symptom of a different thing. It's not the point. It's not the root cause. It's just a symptom of it. And the more people understand the root cause, the less they'll be surprised when they hear someone, a prominent figure like Keith Lee, say, "Oh, I was cheating on my wife. She was cheating on me," whatever. It makes perfect sense. It makes, like, relationships like that strong, require a lot of trauma. A lot of trauma on both the man and the woman's side. Like, the cheating, if anything, was more trauma to the woman, right? The man would not be as affected, not in the way you guys think anyway. And then the man's effect, or the strengthening of the relationship on his part, would be the amount of shit they went through together. So they essentially went through poverty together. They went through, trying to figure out life together, damn near at the brink of homelessness together. That's a lot of stuff to go through, to not be completely joined at the hip with someone essentially for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? And then talk about his meteoric success, going from all that to now Keith Lee. You don't go through any of that and not be completely strongly bonded to that person for life. So it makes perfect sense to me. Makes perfect sense to me. Let's see. The man she liked, me had a boyfriend, the brother she... Oh, the girl. Okay, that's what we're talking about. I was wondering where the fuck that was all coming from. She doesn't like the idea of... Some of these words are spelled incorrectly. She doesn't like the idea of what? And now you don't speak anymore? What happened? Oh, I didn't know he was a side dude. Yes, he was. They met under, unique circumstances. He was working a job. I think it was a clothing store or something, like a clothing outlet. And she was already working there. And I believe, I might be remembering this incorrectly, because it's been a good 2 years since I last saw that podcast. And I remember it was 2 years ago, because I was watching this, I was listening to the podcast while I was at my job. And it's been a while since I had a job. So I remember it was about 2 years ago when I was listening to the podcast, and he was saying she was the one that was supposed to be training him at his new job. So, yeah, I believe that's how the story went. And he was getting trained by her. She was supervising him. He was spitting game. She was with someone she was unhappy with at the time. And they found each other with each other. It be happening like that. It's competition out here. You better be careful, or some guy will take your girl and go and be a success with her, and there's nothing you can do. The second girl don't like the first girl. They only live now. Hella confident code. Okay. A lot of time cheating has nothing with the person be cheated on. Has nothing to do with the person be cheated on. Is that what you're saying? A lot of time cheating, I don't even understand that. Even if I say it correctly, it doesn't make any sense. A lot of time cheating has nothing to do with the person being cheated on. What does that even mean? Maybe I'm missing a few words. Can you rewrite that for me? Because I don't quite get the point you're trying to make there. My favorite gooner. What exactly does a gooner even mean? I thought I knew what it meant, and then someone used it in a different way in a sentence recently, and I'm like, do I know what this means? What does gooner mean? Let's see. She doesn't talk to everyone. She had some trauma. Her mom died. Oh, that's unfortunate. Grew up only with the father. Was the father a strong father or no? She's very, very strong behaviorally. Okay, good. That's a good father. I think it worked because they were both doing it, so they're understanding. It's not, again, you're almost there, but you're still missing the point. You're still coming at it like the cheating is a big deal. Let me put it like this to you. Let me give you a different way of looking at it. The only reason they were cheating on each other, right, especially her cheating on him, because we know why he was cheating. He's a dude, right? But the reason they were cheating on each other is because there was tension in the relationship that needed to get released, and they didn't have the skills to properly deal with it. So what did she do? She ran off to some other guy to get her back blown out. But she didn't do it because she liked the other guy. And this is what people need to remember. It's not every time a woman steps on a relationship that she's trying to replace her man. Sometimes she's trying to do it to use the other men to relieve herself of the tension that her man creates. Does that make sense? I think the red pill guys did they fucked up by telling men especially that a woman can't sleep with a guy that she doesn't like, and that is false. And it's that base fundamental reason, that misconception people have, that make it feel like it's impossible for a woman to fuck another guy and still be completely in love with the guy she's with. It's actually very possible. And I'm not going to say it happens most of the time. It definitely doesn't. I would say maybe 15% of cheating out there, when a woman is the one cheating, that it happens like that, where she's cheating because the guy she's with is the guy she wants, but in her mind, he's not behaving correctly. Who's out here committing crimes? And it's an ambulance, actually. That's unfortunate. She feels like the guy she's with is not behaving correctly, so she's like, okay, let me go and find someone that'll give me the emotional sustenance that this guy is clearly not giving me. But it doesn't mean she wants the new guy, or the new guy is even important. That guy's just dick in the glass, right? As Chris Rock said, in case of emergency, break open glass. It doesn't mean there's any investment there. So it makes perfect sense to me how she can cheat on Keith Lee multiple times and still want to be with Keith Lee. And if you're wondering, okay, how about the forgiving each other thing? Well, clearly they were both emotionally mature enough to understand where the cheating was coming from. They might have not had the skills to deal with it correctly, which is why the cheating kept happening, right? But they at least understood enough to know, okay, like Keith Lee in his mind, especially with Keith Lee's a very mature guy. Like, you got to think about it from his point of view. He's thinking to himself, okay, she cheated on me with this dude. She don't even like that dude. She doesn't care about that dude. She just did it because, in her mind, I was fucking up. All right, cool, whatever. And that's really how it should be seen. Again, I want to make it very clear, not in every case. The majority of you getting cheated on, you're getting cheated on because she's trying to replace you, for sure. You're a weak little bitch. She's trying to find someone stronger, right? But for this, like a very few of us, if you do get cheated on, it's because she doesn't know what to do with the tension. And at that point, it's your job to just help her manage it correctly, all right? So that's really what it is. It's not even like the cheating itself is just a symptom of the issue. It's not the real issue. Luigi's a hero. Big Ouija up in this bitch. Here we go. Here we go. I've been screaming that thought in the house in the last 3 days or so. Here we go. Big Ouija up in here, man. Shout out to Luigi Mangiani. A lot of questions still in my mind, to be honest. He might be getting framed. He might not be the guy at all. I've been seeing a lot of theories on the internet. I want to go study his Twitter. All these things, I don't know, but he doesn't look anything like the guy who was actually in the video that they showed us was doing the actual pew-pewing. The guy in the black jacket, and it was black, not army green. I don't know where that other photo came from. But yeah, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Well, I'm curious to see how the whole thing unfolds. I do think we're getting distracted though. Whenever things like this happen, it's because they want us to put our eyes there, which means there's definitely something going on in the background that we probably should be paying more attention to, that they're distracting us from. He definitely getting thirsted over as well. That's for sure. Oh, for sure. He's set for life, dude. I don't care unless even if they try to put him in prison for the rest of his life, it doesn't really matter. His quality of life in that prison is going to be a lot better than most people out here. That's the truth. So he's cool. He's chilling. Now started Jim and Don't Miss It. And also Jim, she has a boyfriend and lives with him. He's a police officer. She's a police officer. She's 20, and they live together. Okay. Should I go for a girl constantly giving me hugs and compliments when she has a boyfriend? Hold on. Let's not be childs. Let's not be. See, this is what happens when you speak one language too long and you try to switch back to English. Let's not be children about this. All right. The hugs and the kisses mean nothing. Some girls are just friendly like that. It is what it is. Can you get actual compliance from her? Real solid emotional investment from her? If you can, that's a green light. If you can't, that's just a girl being friendly. Don't get too involved. Let's see. How do you know if she's playing you or she's genuinely interested? Literally what I just said. Test for compliance. A woman's compliance and her attraction usually go in the same direction. Very important, okay? Let's see. Anyways, Jace, gotta get my money up, man. Have to talk to you, man. Hey, do what you gotta do. What's good? How you doing, Nep? How you doing, man? Just finished Muay Thai on my way to work. Thai shit. Damn, you do Muay Thai before work? I could never. All right, back when I had to go from the job to jiu-jitsu, it would be jiu-jitsu after. Right? I'd rather go in there after work, not before, cause no. Yo, game makes you work on all areas of life. If it weren't for game, I probably wouldn't be doing MMA. Literally, a game is the ultimate self-improvement. I keep telling you guys, women are the best litmus test for your emotional and psychological strength. You know, they only do what if they respect you, or is that not the case? Fair enough. I think I know what word you're missing in that sentence, but you're probably right. Yeah, I get you. I agreed with your point. I meant understanding as in he knows and she knows the relationship was rocky, so they both did what they wanted to for themselves. Oh, yeah, fair enough. I mean, I guess you could put it that way. Sure. Fair enough. I wouldn't quite put it that way, but I see what you mean. I see what you're saying. I'm dealing with a girl with a baby father. How do I proceed? She's older than me and shows me a lot of attention. You can do better than a girl with a baby father. I want to let you know, first of all, like, let's get that out the way first. You can do better than that. I know it feels like you can't because you're looking at your past experiences and you're looking at how much attention you get from girls per year. But I promise you can do better than that. You know, you don't stress yourself over the girl with a kid. It's okay. There's a lot of girls with no children, a lot hotter, a lot younger. Maybe not too young. We're not going into R. Kelly territory now. But yeah, you can definitely get a better girl, is what I'm trying to tell you. That's the first thing. The second thing is, you shouldn't, even if you want to get a girl like that, the fact that she has a kid or a baby father doesn't fucking matter to you. It shouldn't matter to you. That's just the girl you're fucking, right? Let her deal with the logistics of that. That's her problem if she wants to deal with you. Had to go in the morning. I work till 9 p.m. Classes end at 7 p.m. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. All right, that's cool. If that's the case. Jace, you read Goggins' book? No, I haven't, ironically. I feel like that's something I should have done by now. But no, I have not. What was it called again? Something harder? Am I tripping? Something harder, right? I'll go check it out. They are getting rid of the Department of Education federally. Interesting. Is that true? Can someone confirm that for me? Greetings, bro. How long you been live? I just got here, like, I want to say 20 minutes ago, maybe? Less than 20 minutes ago. But, you know, Can't Hurt Me. That's the name, right? Okay, cool. Check that out. But, yeah, that's interesting. Department of Education federally. Interesting. Jace, what do you think about women getting mad at Cooking with Kya? I've already made a video about that. That's literally on my page. Go check it out. It's the same reason they're getting mad at Nara Smith. The exact same reason. They are jealous. Those women represent a level of competition that they are threatened by. That's really it. It's not that complex. It's competition anxiety on steroids. Right? And they'll come up with their own different excuses for why, you know, they don't support those women. Oh, you're objectifying women. Oh, the Cooking with Kya girl is, how they say, she's out here bragging about being able to take anybody's man, so that makes her look corny. Shut up. Let's go back to what it really is. It's evolutionary psychology. Women like that have always threatened the greater herd of women because they increase the standard. And they're willing to outcompete all the other women and do more. A woman that is willing and able to be the male gaze is a very dangerous one to all the other women. You know what I mean? We'll be updating things in the group hours away. Oh, type shit. But yeah, finally. Yeah, I am here. How do you here? How do we get compliance? Ask for it. I mean, it's literally what I keep talking about when I say compliance testing. Ask for it. Literally ask her to do something for you. About that girl, she told me she's bipolar. She went to a psychiatrist, and I said it is what it is. At least now she knows. Now she knows what. Had to go in the morning. All right, they're done. Are there any women who don't suffer from mental disorders? Well, it depends on how you define mental disorders. You know, first of all, the definition of a mental disorder first requires a definition for a mental order. You have to know what a mental order is to be able to identify when it's in disorder, right? And that's the problem with the definition of the fucking mental disorders, is that no one has really come to an agreement on what actual order looks like mentally. No one has agreed upon what the parameters for mental normalcy is. And because we can't agree on that, we don't know what the abnormalities look like. Does that make sense? Like, we'd have to know what the baseline is first. And here's another mistake people make, which I think, as a scientist, I don't agree with this idea, is that people go and define normal by taking the average. That can't be correct. Think about it like this. On a mental level, do you think Americans, for instance, I'm in America, shout out to Americans, I love this country. I'm just saying that it's going to be a great example, right? America has an obesity problem. That's facts, right? Relax. Nigeria has a poverty problem. We're even now, okay? America has an obesity problem. Do you think what would be considered normal levels of healthy in America would be the same as a country that's more health conscious, like a China or a Japan, for instance, where they have things embedded in their culture and their laws that eliminate the chances of things like childhood obesity and obesity in old age and stuff like that? Do you think the average health-wise of an American or for an American is the same as a Chinese person? Probably fucking not, because the parameters that surround their normalcy are not the same. In America, what we count as overweight is a lot higher numerically than what they count as overweight in China. Like in America, you don't really start getting called overweight until you're over, depending on man and a woman, anywhere from 18 to 25% body fat. In China, it's the moment you start crossing 12, 13, bitch, you fat. In Nigeria, it's quite the same. Like, you start getting over 11, 12% body fat. Oh, you're de fatu. Orobo. You see what I'm saying? Now, imagine that same idea, that same process of thinking applied to mental health. The majority of people in America are medicated. That's the truth. I'll see y'all in America watching me right now. You're taking some drug for something. I'm not. Not to say I'm better than you or anything. I'm just saying I'm not. I did not grow up in a society that heavily relies upon medication. I've never come to a country in my life where I've had to watch as many pharmaceutical commercials. That doesn't exist outside of America, as far as I know. Like, if your doctor prescribed, what? You get the occasional cough and cold medicine ad in Nigeria, and that's about it. All right? Maybe you get the one for AIDS here and there. That's about it. You don't get, like, every commercial is this and that thing and that. Like, come on. I'm not even the target demographic. Why am I getting these ads? I don't use anything. I don't even take ibuprofen when I have a headache. But I digress. The point is, we have to know what mental order looks like to be able to identify mental disorder. And our parameters for mental order are jacked up, which is why we can't agree on it. So, to bring it back to the original question, or do all women have some kind of mental disorder? According to America, according to the DSM-5, yes. Every last one of them. Every last one of them exists outside of the line of normalcy for mental health in America. Every last one of them. But that's the thing, though. I don't think that's necessarily fair. I think if you just changed around the parameters and made it more conducive for what normal means for American women specifically, and then you maybe even go a little out of your way to separate it by age, race, and other stuff like that, not to get like too identity politics into it, but those things do matter and factor in there, right? Your culture, your environment, all these things matter for how you process the world, and as a result, how your mental health ends up shaping up. So yes, as far as we know right now, all women are crazy, but I feel like if we just change the definition of crazy, then they don't look so crazy anymore. In fact, they look predictable. And that's kind of what my work is all about, is that everything women do, even though it might look jarring to us, makes perfect sense once you look at it from an evolutionary psychology point of view. Like, oh, but she did this and she did that, and this is so crazy and so out of this world and so extreme. But I promise you, you go back to the fundamentals, the basics, right? Evolutionary psychology, biological imperatives, survive and replicate and survive. Makes perfect sense. Extreme still makes perfect sense, right? So, that's just the way I think about it. Don't worry about me. Let's see. She's the type that prefers raw truth. Yeah, she'll tell you that because, she has to be able to get the truth out of you at all times. But that doesn't benefit you. That benefits her. You feel me? Is a heroic action of murder of the CEO or the danger he possesses that makes him attractive to women, Luigi? It's the risk that he took. It's the fact that he was willing to do something that, let's be honest, the majority of us just will never do. Like, hating someone and wishing death upon them is one thing. Actually going out of your way to plan accordingly to end that person's life and get away with the murder, that's a different level of dedication and purpose and drive and motivation. The guy's a real life Batman vigilante, like in real life, So, yeah, everything about what he did is very attractive to women. Absolutely. Am I saying go and do the same things? No. And I don't even necessarily agree with the way with his solution to his problem, if that makes sense. If I have an issue with United Health Group, I'm not going to go off the CEO of just United Healthcare. He's a CEO of United Healthcare. There's about 7 different companies underneath the parent umbrella company of United Health Group. So he didn't even take out the head. He took out like a limb, a finger maybe. It sends a message, but as far as the power structure goes, it doesn't really do much. The guy's already probably replaced by now. Obviously, they won't say out loud that they replaced him that quickly. No, they're public relations. The PR specialists are going to tell them not to announce the new CEO, but there's definitely a new CEO already. And that's the point. You don't solve those kind of problems in that kind of way. There's better ways to do it, in my opinion. I'm not saying that there's no room for violence at all. Let's be honest. In all things in the world, with every law we follow or choose not to follow, there's always a threat of violence behind it. The reason society exists and the reason we choose to follow rules and laws is because of the consequences behind them. And every consequence ultimately boils down to the infliction of physical pain and harm. Right? So, it starts out with you getting a ticket on your car, but you leave that to evolve and you get to the point where all of a sudden someone's breaking down your house to collect a debt, or seizing something that belongs to you. So there's a threat of violence behind every single law, if you want to call them that, really. So I get it. I understand where it might be applied or need to be applied. I'm not inciting that anyone should do that. I'm just saying, I get the point. I understand the point. In this case, there's a lot more savvy ways to go about it. And if you don't believe me, I already caught the guy. What has it been, like 5 days? Could have done a lot more, but he went out in a blaze of glory, I guess. He'll be fine, though. Whatever. Let's see. Can't hurt me. Yes, indeed. Today she said that I am attractive. Oh, good for you. The book is called Harry. Yes, thank you. In your experiences getting with girls you work with more trouble than it's worth? That's a good question. In my experience, if I were to just go off of my experience, I would say yes. Definitely more trouble. It's definitely more complicated because of the risk you're taking. You're getting with girls where you have a place of employment and you're doing something. You're mixing business with pleasure, as they say. And they apparently say you shouldn't do that. But I wouldn't change it for the world. I think that's one of the best situations to learn how to deal with women. Because the whole point of dealing with women, and one of the major points anyway, is learning how to deal with the anxiety they represent. And in a situation where you're dealing with a girl that you work with and there's a chance where you could fuck everything up if you don't treat that correctly, all that is more anxiety, which means more opportunity for you to practice to be calm under pressure. At least that's how my crazy brain sees it. I might be wrong. Don't follow me, right? But I'm just saying, like, if you want an opportunity to learn something very quickly, probably do that and get away with it. You know? Let's see. Jace, what you think about... I already read that one. We'll be updating things. I already read that one, too. Let's see. Maybe also they know they're too comfortable and have to put in effort to keep the man interested. Yeah, I literally said that in my video. Women want to be able to get away with a certain standard of work when it comes to being able to be in a relationship with a man. And women like Cookingwithkya and Nara Smith, they take that work and they just multiply it by 20,000. Cooking every meal from scratch is a lot of work, right? Cooking every meal to perfection and having a body that looks like you don't even eat a tenth of that meal you're cooking, right? And that's how you keep a body like that, in case you're wondering. Like, she's probably on a very strict diet. And by the way, not that she's even like the most beautiful girl or anything. Cookingwithkya is, I mean, she's a pretty girl, but she's not like a Kelly Rowland or something, or Megan Good, you know? So the fact that she's been able to set herself apart by just doing that, it tells you everything you need to know about, first of all, how little effort it actually takes to keep men happy, but how women think about that level of effort. Women are lazy, dude. Women are lazy. Like, it should not be that jarring. It should not be that much of a threat for a girl to just hit the gym maybe 2 or 3 times a week, keep her calorie count to a certain level, to a certain deficit, and cook amazing meals. And these are easy to follow recipes too. Like, it's not, she's not doing anything complicated, you know? Anyway, Jace's book you recommend for game and understanding women, Esther Villar. Yes, the Manipulated Man. It's a good book. Do girls actually wear makeup for themselves or for guys? For both. I've already answered this question like years ago. I feel like I should make another video about it. It's really both. It's ultimately for themselves, but it's one of those things where they can't do it for themselves if men don't exist. Does that make sense? Like, they're wearing the makeup selfishly to feel good about themselves. But the only way they can feel good about themselves when they wear the makeup is when that beauty that they've been able to, like, either amplify or fabricate, depending on the girl, with their makeup is affirmed and acknowledged by men. If a woman wears makeup and no one compliments her, that's wasted makeup. If a woman wears makeup and only her girlfriend or girlfriends compliment her, there's some use there. Maybe they feel like they've been able to outcompete their girls, because women are very competitive with each other, especially their own friends and family members. But ultimately, it's still not as good as when a man is acknowledging the makeup, or when a man that they like a competent man that they like is complimenting the makeup. That's makeup well spent. That's money well spent. That's effort well spent, right? Even in high school, you know, going to school with the fly outfit that day and then finding out that her crush isn't at school that day, that's devastating. You know what I mean? Because that's a lot of effort that went into not getting the level of acknowledgement and validation they wanted. So yes, the answer is both. They do it for themselves ultimately. But men are an important part of that process. Right? You didn't see any women wearing makeup at home for no reason. That doesn't happen. Even if they do wear makeup at home, they're gonna take a picture. They're gonna send a video. It's not just gonna go to waste. They're not just gonna paint their face and go like, oh yeah, I look pretty, and just look at themselves in the mirror a couple times and then that's it. Like, no. Unless they're like not attractive, then I guess in which case they don't wanna risk getting called ugly or risk getting told their makeup doesn't look that good or they're not good at it, whatever. But it's just beautiful, especially beautiful women. They're not going to wear makeup and spend all that money doing all that because it does take money with each stroke of that brush, each stroke of that lipstick, and the foundation, the mascara, the eyeliner. All that stuff costs money. They're not going to do all that for free for no reason. Fuck out of here. They do it for themselves, but they do it for themselves through us. Okay? That's the answer. What's the equivalent of the hot cooking girls and men? Competence, really. Like it's men that make women feel safe, men that represent a level of threat and danger. That's the equivalent, I would say. If I had to put it in social media terms, it would just be like the guy that is fit and I don't know. He's fit and can find a way through social media to demonstrate both strong and sensitivity, like strength and sensitivity at the same time. Right? Because that's what turns us on about a Cooking with Kya or Nara Smith. It's how they go about hitting all the centers of our brain that make it hard for us to not find a woman attractive. The equivalent for women would be a guy that hits all those same centers of their brain, and that's strength and sensitivity and the correct balance. You feel me? Like that guy who chops wood, something like that, yeah. And every time a guy does that, they almost always, go viral if they know how to do it correctly. It's very tricky for most men, but it can be done. Let's see. Makeup is too much work. Yeah, I know. A lot of work. A lot of work. You should just sit there and appreciate when your girl is doing makeup sometimes. It's a lot of fucking work. And not just work, effort and skill. Makeup is a fucking skill. So, yeah. So we can look at what a disorder is based upon what we've been doing across the face of time. Even that is an incorrect way to measure it. Because what would have been a disorder back in the 1400s wouldn't be a disorder now. Like, I bet you anything, a lot of the behaviors we have today that we have accepted as normal in our society today, if we took people like that and put them back in the medieval ages, they would have been burned at the stake. They would have been accused of being witches. People out here having stimmies. Stimmies? You witch? Burn! Witch! Was that one girl, that one chick, she's so funny. She's the funniest chick ever. I haven't seen her videos in a while now, I'm thinking about it. She's kind of thick. She's a white girl. And she does these Halloween videos from time to time. She'll put her feet like this. And she'll be like, witch! Funny bitch. Anyway, yeah. Normal has changed over time. You see. And that's across all boards. Mentally, socially. Do you realize that we aren't too far away from a time in history where it was normal to just shit in your house anywhere or on the street? Because toilets hadn't been invented at the time. A plumbing system for transporting and transferring water hadn't been invented, so a sewage system hadn't been invented either. And people hadn't done enough work to link the spreading of pathogens and germs to interaction with waste products. We hadn't gotten smart enough to figure that out yet. So it was very normal. Like, you'd be dancing with a lady. Oh, medieval ages, we're wearing these big gowns. And, like, you're dancing in a circle and there's a streak of shit just following you and her. Because she's dropping a deuce in her dress. That was normal. If that happened today, we're all freaking out. That becomes like news. Like, that goes viral. But that was normal back then. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure there's a correct way to measure normalcy or average, but it has to be done within very strict parameters. And it has to be on a case-by-case kind of basis. Not everyone's normal can be the same. You feel me? But, that's just me rambling. Let's see. Why don't girlfriends post their boyfriends? Oh, I think I missed one. I'm 20 years old and I want to marry my girlfriend who's 42. What do you think? Interesting. don't. You can do better. 42 is really old. That's like your mom's age. Maybe you're even older than your mom. Who knows? Don't do that to yourself. Did you get groomed by this person? How long have you been dating? Why don't girlfriends post their boyfriends on social media? Because they don't want their boyfriends getting stolen. Women are very smart. When they have a good thing, they try to hide it. Yeah, feel me? Systems, culture, people. Yes. Jace, how can I be wise and organized, have an organized mind like you? It's something I can't do. Too many ideas. Write things down. If you're feeling like you're disorganized with your mental, then it's because you're leaving it in the mental space. You have to start putting a physical pen to it. Write things down. Or type things down if that's better for you. Or say things in an audio recorder. I do all three of those things and more, to be honest. I use all kinds of mnemonic devices on a daily basis. I have like notepads by my bed, in my car, the whole thing. So you just have to declutter your mind. Start writing things down. It's very important. Okay? Jace, what shampoo do you use? What do you use for your hair? Don't worry about the shampoo. The shampoo I use, first of all my hair products are coconut. Not that I have any real scientific reason behind it. I just fucking like coconut. I like the smell of it. And as a result, not only is my shampoo coconut, my conditioner is coconut, and my oils are coconut. I have coconut oils that I use for both my hair and my beard, which is why they're nice and healthy and shiny. Mm-hmm. And they're all coconut. Coconut oil and coconut milk. Right? So, yes, that's what I be doing. That's my shit. Let's see. I want to learn to fight, dance, sing, look max, only for game type shit. Do it all, baby. You have all the time in the world to learn all those things, as long as you're dedicating your time to learning those things. Jace, have you heard of the channel Home Math? Damn, I haven't thought about that in a while. Where did he go? Home Math was really big like last year, right? He should still be big. But yeah, I have heard of Home Math. Nothing crazy if it's possible, okay. Just got my ear pierced, doing hella push-ups every day type shit. What's going on, ESAT? How we doing? Let's see. What do they mean when they call themselves evil? Who's calling themselves evil? Who is? Drives me crazy. I need to be able to be dangerous and toxic and be good. It's funny. We're just talking about evil there. Yeah, he did get replaced. They appointed a new CEO. Ha! Called it. Told you. Yeah. It's just how it works. Whatever product they have to be pushing has to keep getting pushed, and whoever needs to be there for that to keep happening, they'll just put it. It is what it is. These companies don't care about you because they care about profits. And as long as you align with their mission to get more profits, you're straight, right? They will care about you if you are going to affect their bottom line somehow, right? That's really the key to it. But I said this on my other channel. I made a whole video about it on my other channel. For those of you who don't know my other channel, go check it out. But I made a video where I talk about just the insurance business model and how I don't support it. And because I had a conversation with someone in my real life that was surprised that, I'm not too mad about the CEOs on the living. Again, better ways to solve that problem, but I'm not too mad at it. It is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and act like the guy, what he did was like morally just per se, but that man wasn't any better. That's the truth. He wasn't. The CEO I'm talking about. And this person was surprised that, because they know I lean more right with my beliefs and I'm big on free market capitalism. Like how I thought you would like CEOs. Like, yeah, but not all of them. That one in particular, insurance CEOs, I'll fuck with them. Because insurance as a business model, to me, is one of the most evil, corrupt things that has ever existed in the world. I really do believe the devil created insurance as we know it today. I think insurance is useful, but the way it's set up right now in our so-called free market capitalistic system, bullshit. Bullshit. Every other business or business model has the same incentive, which is to realize profit, right? The difference is with other business models, they realize their profits when they render the service or product, when they outcompete everyone else on the market by rendering better service, better product, better value, better satisfaction. Insurance is one of the few business models within so-called free market capitalism where they make more money and realize more profit when they don't render service. That's fucking evil. That's of the devil. The Satan created that shit. It had to be. What do you mean you make more money when you break the fundamental laws of economics? That's absurd. That makes no sense. So, yeah, fuck insurance. It's a scam. And that CEO, hey, shouldn't have been doing shit. Shouldn't have been doing fuck shit. What do you mean your entire business model survives on fucking people over and playing with their lives? That's what you get, bitch. That's what you get. And by the way, this is a warning to all entrepreneurs out there. Not every business is a good one to get into. If you cannot see how you can genuinely add value with it, get out of there. A lot of business models you shouldn't be in, right? A lot of business models you shouldn't be in. A lot of business models that aren't even fucking business models. They're just fucking, I don't even know what to call them, but don't call them business models. Don't call them, like, what? I met someone recently that was bragging about making all his wealth on trading. And I'm like, God damn it, that's a prison of the mind. So you mean to tell me the only way you've ever learned how to make money is to play a zero-sum game with other random players, faceless players you don't know? That's weird. As opposed to just add actual useful value, solve a problem in the marketplace? Really? You don't have the skills to do that? You don't know how to build something that creates and generates value? No, you just know how to sit down and wait for other people to make a mistake with their money so you can capitalize on it. I'm not saying don't trade. Trade. What you got to do, trade. But always remember, there's a limit to what you can do in every aspect of life if you don't think about adding value first. It's very important. Okay? Anyway, what's going on, Flavian? Why is the interview only available after 60 days, but the interview light 65 days? What are we talking about? Huh? Oh, the group? Nah, you're probably mixing that up. It's the other way around. Hey, Jace, I've missed you, no Diddy. No, don't worry about the Diddy stuff, man. Bring the baby bottle, the baby oil bottle, the bottle of baby oil. It's fine. It's okay. I'll take that. Hey, pause. I'm doing too much. Let's see. No woman for him for the rest of his life. That's tough. No women for him. For who? Luigi's gonna have mad conjugal visits. He'll be fine. Let's see. When are you dropping Science of Making Money? When you seem very stable. Let me get to a certain level first. I mean, I definitely see myself dropping hints and stuff out there, like with regards to money and stuff. But again, you guys know my rule. I don't talk about anything I don't feel confident that I know a lot about. And for me, I'm still like, as far as I know, especially when I compare myself to other people, I'm still relatively a novice in the game. You know what I mean? So let me figure that out. Then I'll get back to you. In the meantime, let me stick to what I know. I know game, I know social dynamics, and all that good stuff. All right? Didn't see a notification, but I'm here. That's what I'm talking about. How you doing, Kay? Or it could be he likes remix of the interview, just the context of money. Oh, I see. Like doing the interview, but like with money. I feel what you mean. Yeah, who knows? I don't intend to like make money off of giving money advice though. I've come to find that no matter how well you do that, you can never really escape the scam allegations. The only one that I've been able to see do that is Alex Hormozy. And that's precisely because he doesn't have a course to sell. At least not for the low-level people, right? Alex Hormozy does work with like people who are doing $10 million a year with their businesses. So, you know, that's what's up. Get a shout out to him. But I don't think... It's so ironic too, but I don't think the move is to help people that need help with money the way they need help with money. It's so ironic, but hey, that's what happens, man. When you isolate a certain class of people, they just tend not to give you secrets anymore. Well, at least the real ones, not the scammers. Because there are scammers. I can't completely be blind to that. What's going on, El Ross? How you doing, man? Delayed my responses 30 minutes, but her responses took less than 2 minutes. Desperate or just old? She's 27. Why does it have to be one of the two, though? I don't like the way your mind is working. I don't like that. Why is it a lose-lose situation for her? Why can't it just be she likes you and you can move things forward? She either has to be desperate or old. What's going on there? Why? Because I'm trying to be nice about it, but the truth is, the reason you're even asking that question is because you have very low self-esteem. How do I know that? It's because, again, you can't even bring yourself to believe that her responding to you in 2 minutes means that she sees so much value in you and she likes you and she wants to get to know you. It has to be something wrong. Something has to be wrong for her to show that much interest. Either she's just too old and doesn't understand how texting works, which is not even the case. She's 27, right? Like, she's not even as old as me. Like, trust me, she knows how texting works. She's fine. Or it's she's so desperate that clearly she must be desperate to want a piece of shit like you, right? So work on yourself, man. Work on the way you think about yourself so that you stop projecting your lack of value in yourself on other people, right? Who knows? Maybe even though you think of yourself as a piece of shit, there's something she sees in you that she likes. Don't rule out that possibility. Let's see. Why do you think women promoting cooking with Jai, who's the light-skinned version? Cooking with Jai? I've never heard of this person. Doesn't even matter. I don't even care about this person. I don't like copycats in general, so I don't really give a fuck. But yeah, if women are promoting some light-skinned version over Cooking with Kya, well, it's more jealousy. And I feel sorry for her if she takes the bait. If this Cooking with Jai girl goes off the coattails of that to become famous in her own right, those same women that pushed her up will knock her down. So I would, if I were her, come out with a public statement saying, hey, listen, I'm not here to compete with Kya. She has her own Cooking with Herself show. I have my own. If you like her, go watch her. If you like me, come watch me. There's nothing wrong with liking both of us. We both do amazing work. That's what I would say if I'm her. If I'm a public relations person, I'm her boyfriend. Usually with these girls, they have a man in their life that's giving them the sauce, which is how, they grow. But yeah, that's what I would say if I were her. Don't allow that support to be your base. You'll get fucked up. You'll get fucked up. She took the bait and sneaked this Kya. Dumb. She's done. Give her 3 months. She's out of here. They will eat her alive like the piranhas they are. Never, listen, I'm going to give you guys some very solid advice, right? And this goes for not just social media. It goes for business as well. Everything. Never accept support from low vibrational crowds. It's a bad idea. I understand the temptation. When you can get low vibrational people to gather together, they get shit done for you very quickly. It's very true. Right? One of the fastest way to go viral is to make a video that's relatable to the lowest common denominator, aka low vibrational people. You know what I mean? That's how you go viral on this app, for real. For those of you that want to make quick cash. But if you want longevity, stability, and to build trust with an actual base of people that fuck with you and your message heavy, stay away from pandering to those crowds of people. It's a bad idea. Because those people are just in survival, right? All they want is what they want and what they feel right now. They want Kya gone, so they'll promote Jai. It's very instinctual. It's very reactive. At some point, they'll look at Jai and go, I don't like the fact that this light-skinned bitch is out here with more followers than me. Let's take her down. Terrible idea. Terrible idea. So she took the bait. She dissed Kya. She's stupid. She's going to suffer for that. And the worst part is she's not even going to be able to link the mistake to the consequence of the mistake. Right? It's not immediate. She's not going to see the immediate consequences of it. She's going to go down the line months long. Her audience, a so-called audience, is going to turn on her. And then she's going to be like, what did I do? And forget completely that this is what she did. Stupid. Stupid. What would you rate Kya? I'd say about a 7.5. You know what? I've had a conversation with someone about this recently. They're already turning on her, making fun of her BBL. See, it's already starting. What do I think about Kya though? I was having a conversation about this with someone recently. We might have to, and this pains me to say, but we might have to step down the standard. Because if you're looking at it objectively, the gap between beautiful women and every other woman is getting further. Let's be honest. There was a time where we would look at a Kya and be like, oh, she's like a above average 7.5, 7. But we're slowly getting to the point now where there's so few of her, or fewer hers than the others, that we might have to start calling girls like Kya an 8 or a 9. I'm not in agreement with that. I don't think she's put in quite the level of work to become that. But we might start going into that. We might start marching into that future very soon. But yeah, I would say 7.5 is correct. 7.5, 7.2, somewhere around there. She's a cute girl though. She seems lively. Her energy brings her up a little bit. Let's get that on a t-shirt. Women are lazy. All they do is sleep, in my opinion. Women are lazy. All they do is sleep. They need motivation. They just need motivation. They need a reason to have work ethic. How do they do make up for themselves if their whole mood is changed by men's validation? Well, you answered your own question. Your argument supports that they do it for others. What part of themselves if it's wasted makeup? Okay, if you take a fishing rod to a pond to go and catch fish, right? And you don't catch any fish, would you then say, oh, it's wasted effort because I didn't catch any fish? Yes, you would. But you would still feel as bad because you didn't catch any fish, correct? The rod is just a means for catching the fish. The fish is what you want. Does that make sense? You're not going to the pond for the fish or because of the fish. You're going to the pond because you want to quench your hunger. The fish just happens to be a means to that end. The rod happens to be the tool, the point of leverage you have to catch the fish with. Same thing. Extrapolate that same analogy to women. The fishing rod is the makeup for women. Right? The fish is male validation. They're doing it not for the male validation itself, but for how it makes them feel, the satisfaction they get. So the makeup and the men, and even the validation the men give itself, are all a means to an end to make her feel good. Do you get it? It's for them. It's all for them. It ultimately comes down to for them. And that is in direct accordance, by the way, with just about the most fundamental law of evolutionary psychology. Survival and replication. The biological imperatives. Right? Why is male validation so important to women? It's a sign that she has the ability to convince a highly competent man to be emotionally, socially, physically, and psychologically invested in her survival, which in turn increases her chance of survival. She could survive on her own, maybe. But if she has a big, strong man to also look out for her, her and her offsprings are set. Right? So on an evolutionary level, male validation is important because it signals survivability. The ability to get a strong man to care about him. It's important. On a micro level, having, again, one of those competent, strong men acknowledge her for her beauty is in her mind, deep, deep, deep down. She's not thinking about this consciously, but deep, deep, deep down, she believes that a competent man acknowledging her for her beauty is just about the same as him caring enough about her well-being. Because it would take some degree of care for him to even bother acknowledging her beauty. Which, by the way, is very fair. It's very true. Right? You've never in your life gone up to an ugly girl and went, "You're beautiful." Never. Never once. Even the least disciplined man on earth will never bring himself to do that. Why? Because you don't care. You don't give a fuck. Right? That's why Instagram exists. And that's why all the baddies have this number of followers and all the regulars have this number of followers. And the male validation isn't what they do it for. It's the satisfaction they get from it. Don't forget that part. That's actually a good Evo strategy. I know. Yes. It's one of the best they have, honestly. It's a great evolutionary strategy to apply because it guarantees their survival. All those Instagram baddies, if the apocalypse were to happen and half of the population gets turned to zombies or something, there are men who are followers of that woman who are going to be very concerned about their well-being. Maybe not in the best way, maybe for their own selfish reasons, but they will be concerned. As opposed to the girl who nobody knows and cares about. That girl's dead in the water. She's done. No one cares about you. Much less a strong, competent man that it actually benefits you to align yourself with. See the point? So yes, it's ultimately for them. And I know that's jarring. I know. Yes. And I need you to know that too, because I don't want you to confuse yourself about it. Like, oh, well, they're doing it for me. No, they're not. Don't. The moment you start lying to yourself about your self-importance to these women, that's when you start getting manipulated. You are not that important. I promise you you're not. Even guys like me, right? The guys who actually have influence over women. Even to us, we are ultimately, in their minds, tools for their survival. Remember that shit. The only consolation, if you will, that you have is that you actually, when you're in my position, you get the opportunity to use them back. Don't delude yourself about the game we're playing. Do not do that to yourself. Don't. The other side of the coin would be jealousy. She's worrying to lose your resources and attention. That's why jealousy exists. That is why that emotion exists. That is what jealousy is. Jealousy is, I'm losing validation. I'm losing an opportunity of more eyes and attention and acknowledgement on me. It's going somewhere else. And that's really what it is. It's not even that she's losing it. It's that it's going somewhere else. You know? Why is it going somewhere else? That needs to stop. All right, and then they start doing whatever the fuck they try to do. But yeah, don't delude yourself into thinking that anything they do is for you. It's for them. Even when they give their lives for you, they're doing it selfishly for them somehow. You just got to figure it out. You just got to figure it out. All right? So ultimately, it's not about you, but who you are and what you can get. Literally. Yes. Deep indeed. Very deep indeed. Yes. That's it. Once you remember that women, and just not just women, I don't want to say just women, because it's people. The human spirit is an insatiable spirit just drenched in sophistry. Every single thing you do leads to your benefit somehow. Even the things you believe you're doing selflessly. Just because you found a way to use your neocortex, right, to convince your reptilian and limbic brains into believing that you're doing it selflessly, doesn't mean you actually are. You're not. There's always a personal benefit. And I think, me personally, I think acknowledging that and remembering that is the real superpower, right? Because now you see everything clearly. You understand the motive for every fucking thing. People become that much predictable overnight. Overnight. You feel me? Let's see. Already read that one. Like the guy who chops would have read that one too. In 1832, the great stink of London made it unbearable. An outbreak of cholera cause of that reason. Oh, I see. That was a story I read about years ago. You just fucking pulled that out of the back of my mind. I think I read about that in high school? Maybe primary school. The great stink, they said. They would tell us stories about how they would show up on slave ships and be reeking up the whole place, and because they'd be stuck in their ships, traveling across the Atlantic Ocean, and they wouldn't take off their armor for months on end, and they could just stink up the place when they showed up at the shores of Africa. Yeah, a lot of weird cultural differences there back in the day, man. Meanwhile, my ancestors were very concerned about baths. Very. Well, even goods work to get to heaven. What are we talking about? The question is, does it take away from the good works? What are we talking about? Oh, well, even good works are to get to heaven. Oh, I see what you mean. Does it take away from the good work when the good work is done selfishly? I don't know. But that's the thing, though. It doesn't really take good work to get to heaven. That's the point. We can go into that and the spiritual law of that. There's no amount of good work you can do to get into heaven, because none of us deserve to be there anyway. We don't deserve to be in heaven or, nirvana, Valhalla, whatever you want to call it. We don't deserve that. We're fucking dirty rags. We don't deserve to be in a place that holy and clean. So there's no amount of work you can do to get there. But what we do is we go in the stead of someone else. So that when we're at the gates, the person that sees us sees that person instead, as we're getting judged. But that's a different story for another day. What to do when your girl goes texting other guys to piss you off every time you argue? That's literally what Keith Lee was going through. Ask him. Nah, you do what Keith Lee did. You text other girls. And just listen. I do feel like for a lot of relationships, that period has to happen. That period where your woman is going to misbehave and try to shake your confidence by trying to remind you that you're replaceable. And your job is to remind her that she's replaceable. There's really nothing else to do but that. You can't, what are you going to do? Beg her to stop? Tell her to stop? Show her how much you care? They're doing it because they want to see how much you care. The problem is, if you show how much you care, you give them power in the relationship. That fucks you up in the future. Fucks her up too, by the way. That's the funny thing. A woman's job, to some degree, is to lead to her own self-destruction. Women still don't get that yet. Destroying the man you're with destroys you in the long run, right? Think Jada Pinkett Smith. Her reputation isn't any better after the embarrassing thing she's put Will Smith through. She just looks goofier, right? The Bible even says it. Don't uncover your head. That's stupid. It's a dumb thing to do. Right? The head there meaning head of the household. That was the context for the scriptures before that one. That Christians like to take out. I'm looking at you, Christians. Go read the Bible correctly, assholes. Anyway. Yeah. I'm not surprised that a woman would do that. Try to go out of her way to fuck things up. Your job is to remind her that you're more dangerous. And you're willing to leave at a moment's notice. And listen, it depends on the girl. It's like dog training. Some dogs are smart. You teach them a command, they learn in 2 minutes. I got a very smart dog here. Right? I think some of you saw my video of how he will not eat until I give him the signal. That took me literally, 3 minutes to train him? 4 minutes at the most? Very easy, very quick. Some other dogs, you'd be going at it for days and they still don't get it. Just keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. Same thing with women. Some women learn very quickly. Oh, okay, he don't give a fuck. I can't control him like that. I should stop trying to control him. They learn, they get it. Some other women, you have to break up with them, let them go on a 6-month journey to try to replace you, and find out the hard way they can't. So that when they come back, there's a humility they have. It's very funny when you see that happen. But some of them will require that. Some of them will take years, right? I just heard about one of them. What's his name? Ben Affleck is back with Jennifer Gardner after getting back with J-Lo, right? So it's just bouncing between exes. What do you think is happening there? The bitch ain't acting right. I gotta go again. You haven't learned your lesson. I gotta teach you. You gotta learn. All right, other bitch, are you willing to act right? You are? Okay, cool. And if Jennifer Gardner fucks up again, he back to J-Lo. Not that I recommend that for you. That's a waste of time, honestly. He's clearly making mistakes once he gets into the relationship with these women, which is why they revert back to like their former state. And by the way, repin that for me so I can see it. I'm sorry I didn't get to that on time. But the point is, yeah, that's how it works, man. That's literally how it works. Like, they'll try. Their job is to try to fuck you up. Your job is to stand firm in your frame. Simple as that. Okay? Yo, Jace, care to give examples of creating tension? You create tension every time you make a woman feel positive and negative emotions at the same time. You got to think about tension like a spark. When you clash two stones together, friction creates a spark. That's why it's called a spark of attraction, because that's what it literally is. It's two emotions colliding. Right? That's why push-pulls are a superpower. You can tell a girl that she looks beautiful and like a serial killer at the same time. It'll make her feel good and confused. Positive emotion, negative emotion. Clash, spark, tension. Now, there's an unresolved tension within her. Does he like me because he called me beautiful? Or does he not like me because he said he doesn't trust that I'm someone that might, end him in his sleep? You see what I'm saying? So, that's what tension is. That's what it takes to create tension. Just play around with positive and negative emotion. That's all it takes. Let's see. You think... Oh, my bad. My girl and I broke up with... My girl I broke up with... Oh, I see. My bad. That's my ball. My girl I broke up with got with a provider type to flex on me about him buying her bags. All right, fair enough. Give her time. Sometimes you got a girl that's a little goofy. You got to let her see. And that'll take a while. Like, especially if she gets with a provider boyfriend afterwards. It'll take a while. It might take her a few months, maybe a few years, to find out, oh, right. That's why I don't like provider type men. They're not exciting. Right? Every year or so, maybe a year and a half, 2 years, I'll get like the occasional ex from my past come through and like try to slip around. Like, oh, what's going on? And every time it's just like, oh, I see. Whatever guy you were with, you remembered, oh, he's not as exciting as Jason. And I was like, what's going on? It'll happen. Just give it time. Let's get to 50K likes, gentlemen. Today we're feeling greedy. Oh, tight shit. 50K? Is that even possible? Hey, do what you gotta do. I don't know if I'll stay here long enough for that, but, I appreciate all the effort, even if we can't get there, which we probably can't. But, is you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen with that head shape a good push-pull? Oh, that's a great push-pull. It's a great, I would say that with the shape of their ears. Women are very self-conscious about ears, right? 3 things: ears, noses, mouth. Specifically the shape of the mouth, right? Don't talk about the size of their lips. I don't care. The shape of their mouth. If you tell them the shape of something is weird, they get very worried. Like, damn, I don't think, oh man. I can't believe it. I found myself being attracted to a girl with your size forehead. That's crazy. Say that. Positive, negative. He loves me not. That's exactly where you want him to be. That's the pocket you want him to be in. That's where the tension is. Prove Jace wrong, gents. Hey, go for it. I appreciate it regardless. Let's see. I just recently found that MGK is friends with Pete Davidson. Is that why he got Megan Fox? Possibly. Friends are friends and friends help friends. Didn't Megan Fox just break up with MGK over the holidays or something? Thanksgiving. My girl literally told me about that. Hold on, let me find that text. She texted me because my girls be sending me ideas for my videos and shit. She texted me and she was like, Megan Fox broke up with MGK, and I was like, ha ha, what happened? And she's like, they cheated. He cheated. And I'm like, ha 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 ha. I thought it was so funny. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. He cheated on her and she found evidence on her phone. So yeah. That is so funny. When a woman gonna learn? A man cheating is not a big deal. So what is he gonna do now? Leave him and go get cheated on by the next guy? Like, come on. Don't be stupid. Stay with the guy. You're fine. You just stay with him. It's whatever. Goofy. What's your other channel's name? Jace the Thinker. Funny enough, I've been blocked by like 3 girls this year for too much tension. That's a good problem to have, honestly. It's a great problem to have. Answer my question, Ninja. Which question? I don't see your question. That's the first time I'm seeing you type in there. Stink meaner is funny. The attitude matches the name. Shout out to the Boondocks. This girl I've been in the friend zone with for years just came back in my life after I cut her off. Interesting. Why did you let her back in without putting in any work? Gotta remember, if a girl leaves you for whatever reason, if she's gonna come back, she has to pay tax. You don't know where she's been. She has to show you allegiance, loyalty. Do something hard. Make a sacrifice. You feel me? Is MGK a protective type? Because I'm confused about Megan Fox leaving him after having a fam with him. Oh yeah, she is pregnant and is about to drop their baby, right? I would say he leans more protective type for sure. It would take a protective type to go against Eminem. You have to be that crazy. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would say more protective type for sure. And he cheated. It's like, it wasn't like the relationship got boring and stale and we just grew apart. No, he cheated. That's about the most exciting way to end the relationship. So, if anything, I expect her to be back with him in no time. I don't really see that being a permanent thing. She's going to get back with him. Celebrity women are living a curse because whenever things like that happen to them, they almost always have to go the self-esteem route. I'm a celebrity woman. I must not be disrespected by men. He cheated on me. That is the end. I will never be with him again. Knowing damn well they're still in love with this guy. Because that's what happens. When a man shows a woman he has the ability to replace her, the love spikes the fuck up. That is what women are looking for on a biological level. It's competition anxiety. So they have to pretend like they don't love the guy anymore. What's the other one's name? The Disney girl. Almost said Miley Cyrus. That got cheated on recently too with some TikTok girl. It's right there. Fuck, I'm lost. Sabrina Carpenter. That was it. Sabrina Carpenter also got cheated on recently by her boyfriend with some TikTok chick that kind of looks like her. I don't know. Same thing. I'm like, girl, what you gonna do? Leave him and go get with some other guy that's going to cheat on you anyway? Like, come on. You're a celebrity chick. The guys that you can date realistically are fucking dope as well. They have options. It's gonna happen. It is what it is. It doesn't mean they don't love you anymore, right? Like MGK cheating on Megan Fox. He just wanted new pussy. It's okay. Variety. He wasn't banging that girl being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna leave Megan for this one. Like, no, it's just new pussy. It's okay. Like, he still loves you. He has a kid coming on the way with you. It's fine. It's okay. Although I do understand, though, from her perspective, how hard it is to take a cheating when you're pregnant. Like, cheating on a pregnant woman is different because that is when they feel the least sexy. To cheat on a woman when she feels the least sexy is a harsh thing to do. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying they don't take it as well. You know what I mean? So, Girl logic. Leave me for it to happen with someone new. Exactly. It's goofy girl logic, right? Just get goofy. Goofy. Unless she wants to date a high school principal or something like that. Some guy that's a manager of McDonald's. He won't cheat. He's not going to fuck up with Megan Fox. But guess what? Give that guy a good year or two, even he will begin to because all the girls are going to try him. why does Megan like this guy so much? I wonder what it is. So the pre-selection is gonna boost his status up anyway, and then he's gonna cheat, and he's more likely to cheat because he's not even used to that kind of female attention. So figure it out. With every domino that falls, I'm just happy because now we're getting closer to the point where women all collectively come together and realize this hard rule on cheating is come on, it's not a big deal. It's not. You can survive with it. You can survive if you know your man's is fucking some other girl. You don't care. You don't care. You only care because you don't want your girlfriends to find out and call you a fucking, pick me or, a simp. Whatever the fuck girls are calling each other these days. I get it. You don't want to look weird in front of your friends. You don't want other girls to be like, I fucked your man. I get it. But you're still important. You're still important. All right? It's not even a consolation. It's just a fact. If he's cheating on you and not leaving you, you're still important. You'll be fine. All right? Somebody send that to Megan Fox. Recently run into them on Hinge. You know the funny thing? I bet you I could find a way to talk to Megan Fox because I know people that know her. There's a chain. There's a link there I can use. Not that I'm going to. I don't care. Recently run into them on Hinge or Person. They're giving lots of compliments, good energy. I'm guessing you meant compliments, not complaints, right? But yeah. What's your opinion on people saying that non-white people need to stop having right-wing beliefs or right-wing beliefs? Non-white people need to stop having right-wing beliefs. It sounds like identity politics. I don't subscribe to that bullshit. People have the politics they have because of their behavior, decision-making, values, and priorities, not their skin color. Right? To delude yourself into thinking your skin color is that important or that effective in your decision-making is the dumbest thing. Like, it's the most mentally limiting thing you can do to yourself. So, no, I don't subscribe to that bullshit. Just have a concern about the opener's guide. I'll tell you on Insta. Concern about the opener's guide. All right, let me hear it. Am I late? Yes. I think I'm about to bounce. When will the next live be? Dimitri said I gotta pay for the private community. I can't pay. I'm 17. I'm broke. It is what it is, man. That girl responded, what? I think she's confused. Good. Yay, let her be confused. How long did she take before she responded? Is the real question. Why do some people don't have challenges but still have a good genetic expression and vice versa? A majority of women who claim they're celibate, really celibate. Okay, the second one I can answer very quickly. No, the majority of them claiming they're celibate are not celibate. The first one, genetic expression, not a lot of challenges. I disagree. I completely disagree. If they have good genetic expression, they definitely went through challenges. Just because you don't know about them doesn't mean they didn't go through it. And you got to expand your mind to what you think a challenge is from an environmental standpoint. They might not have had to go through the same kind of challenges you went through or the ones you recognize as challenges, but they definitely went through enough stress to have good genetic expression. They getting D and nothing else shouldn't be used for bragging rights. LOL, some women use it though. Yes. Let's see. I told her to take me see some nature, and then she told me, you ain't about to kiss me in the forest. Then you kiss her in the forest. That she's literally implanting your mind with the idea. That's especially if it's black women. That's how they tell you to kiss them. Is they tell you not to. This is how aggressive women in general do it. So what's some good tips in improving self-esteem besides the usual some unorthodox tactics for real? Like I always say, do hard shit. The reason you don't have self-esteem is because you don't esteem yourself because you don't see yourself as someone worth esteeming. Your image is off. And the reason your self-image suffers is because you don't respect yourself. And you don't respect yourself because you haven't done anything to make yourself respect yourself. You have to earn your own respect. I always tell people that. You have to start with you. You have to earn your own respect. You have to go do some hard shit that you're impressed by. Then go from there. When you say stay away from pandering to a group of people, could Kendrick face the same? Yes, Kendrick is literally riding full speed to that same end. Never pander to the lowest common denominator, the fucking low vibrationals of the world. Never pander to those motherfuckers. They are in survival. They will surround you like piranhas when it's all said and done. And that's where Kendrick is headed. His fall, if he's not careful, is going to be worse than Drake's. It's going to be worse than Drake's. How many times does this need to happen for y'all to learn? Where are the shits and gigs guys right now? Where are they? They built an entire podcast based off of just telling a certain group of people what they want to hear. The one time, not even that they even said anything, they didn't even say anything. They just laughed at a joke. Where are they now? They were on the way to being the biggest podcast on the planet. They were selling out the O2 Arena in London. Are you kidding me? They can't do that anymore. They can't do that anymore. You feel me? She responded in about 2 hours. That's good. That's a lot faster than she usually does, right? Jace, you're spitting wisdom like King Solomon, the way you sat back and gave advice. Hey, I've been doing what I do. I gotta go soon, though, guys. I actually gotta go now. I gotta go now, people. I gotta go now. All right, but I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here with me. I know this was a short one. But yeah, for anyone that wants to join me and get to working with me and all that stuff, all those links are in the bio. Please join my private community. That is where you'll get the most of me, especially on a bi-weekly basis. And if you want to learn how to incorporate girls into your life from scratch, the interview's up there. Links are in the bio. It's been Jace's Favorite Scientist. With all this information, what you must.